Hello developers, today we're talking about MaskAPI Database Mode. This video will show you how to use MaskAPI Database Mode to create API endpoints backed by PostgreSQL and MySQL. The goal of this video is to help you quickly create your first get and post database endpoints and expose your data as an API. What is database mod? Database mod allows MaskAPI to connect your Postgres or MySQL database and expose it as an API endpoint. No custom backend service required, and you have full controlled access to database operations and works with Postgres and MySQL. The problem we have, let's assume that we have an app and we already have a production database, and the front end needs to fetch data and submit data. But we have no API layer yet, so building and maintaining one takes time. The solution is simple. You can use MaskAPI Database Mod to quickly connect directly to the database and define get and post endpoints using our code editor function. The code editor is a feature inside MaskAPI that we'll talk about later. Also, you can control queries, validation, and responses all in one place. Code editor function. By this, you can safely handle incoming requests and execute database queries and return structured responses. You can create a get endpoint and a post endpoint and apply business logic, validation, and error handling. We have five main steps. The first, we are going to create a project and then we're going to set a database connection. After that, we are creating our database endpoint. Then we need to launch our database API, and finally, we integrate with our project using MaskAPI. So let's move forward. Here, we're going to create a project from here or from wherever you want. We've made an app for the sake of this video and we name it to-do list. It's a simple to-do list app. I'm inside the project and I'm going to start an API studio. But first, I'm going to the settings and add my keys. To move things fast, I've already made a project inside Supabase, and I'm going to copy the key and paste it here inside the database connection. Great, now let's move forward. Okay, now we're going to create our first endpoint using a database API. You can see we have three types of API: mask, mock, and database. We've explained those two in separate videos, but now we're focusing on the database mod. We're going to use get for this, so we're going to create our first get path, and we're going to name it to-dos. As you can see now, I'm inside the code editor, and in the code editor, I will write the table I'm trying to fetch. In this case, our table name is to-dos. Now let's run the mask and test the API. Great, it's working. Let's go and test it in our app. First, we'll launch our API and copy the URL and implement it in our code. Great, now after fetching that, we need to paste our URL here. As you can see, we're integrating our API into our code base. Here, I'm pasting a MaskAPI key or the project key that's provided for you. You can find this in the settings tab from here. As you can see, here's the project key, and every project has an individual key. And in case you forgot it or got lost, you can regenerate it from here and keep things secure in one place. Let's paste it here. Great, now let's test our app. I'm moving to the local host and refreshing the app. Great, the API works perfectly. The data here was fetched using our API. You can play with it as you like. You can use it with almost any application. So we're like the middleman that moves your data back and forth. Let's go to the Studio tab again. And this time we're creating our first post API. From inside the studio, we need to create a new one from here. We go to the plus icon. From here, we choose the database API, and this time we're going to use post. Now let's name the path also the same as our app. But in this case, we need to write instead of fetching the data. Writing into our table, which is to-dos, as you can see, our field name was made As you can see, we're just making the name required for the table, and the values should be text only. So you can see the values we're taking. As you can see, I've made my functions clear. Now I'm going to test and send the body. Here is our body tab. Let's build the JSON format. Basically, you can play with this and build whatever you want. Let's test this and see how things are going to look. Run the mask. Great. As you can see, here's my full JSON body. This is astonishing. We're going to move to our app and implement this post API to it. Same as before, we're going to use the same project URL as both APIs are in the same project. So the key is universal. Okay, now we have all things set up. Let's test this in our app live. Now, after launching the API, let's test it out. Okay, so maybe I'm going to go home today. Let's add this to our to-do list. Great, as you can see, it appeared here. Now, this is an easy and simple way to use MaskAPI for your database. We've made a lot of YouTube videos that you can look them up in our channel. And you can visit our website at www.maskapi.dev and explore things yourself.